Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm going to show you how to do conversion tracking on the IDX broker system. IDX broker is a tool. It's like 60 to 150 bucks a month. You can use it with WordPress, Webflow, but I'm going to show you how to use Google Tag Manager to do a conversion within or that counts the registration. And let me dive in real quick here. So basically, when you have a normal website, so this is one of my clients, you come in and you have a usual or regular form. It's easy to do a conversion and track that conversion. And usually what I'll do is I always use Google Tag Manager, and I create a trigger. And the trigger would be if I come into the form and I right click, and over here I can see that the form ID for this form is WF-form-find a deal header. That's pretty easy, right? Not too hard at all to set that up. However, in the IDX broker system, when you're pushed off-site, so our original domain is theduplexdoctors.com. Here we've gone up to theduplexdoctors.idxbroker.com. And this system is really difficult. And remember, if you're doing Google ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, and you're trying to do it for conversions, Google Tag Manager is usually the easiest. And we want to have it where if people fill this out, we're communicating to big tech that this is a conversion, right? And by doing that, you'll be able to control your cost per acquisition. You'll be able to actually use their machine learning in a meaningful way, and that'll be helpful. So I have toiled over this. Let's just get right to it. When you come into Google Tag Manager for your website, so there's two stages. I'm going to show you how to set this up here and then how to make sure that your IDX broker pages have the right header and footer in them so that this is here. So use Google Tag Manager. In its most basic form is you have triggers and you have tags. This video is not meant to show you everything to do with Google Tag Manager, but here's the deal. You're going to create a trigger and you're going to hit new. Well, first you're going to have to come down. You're going to have your variables. You have to add in the variable that is going to be used in this trigger, and you'll have to make sure that you add form ID as a variable. So you would hit configure. You'd come down and make sure that form ID and all the forms. So I click them all and get them all in there. Then you come to triggers and you say new trigger, and this is going to be the IDX registration form. You're going to say the trigger is going to be down here to form submission. So form submission. And once you're on there, we're going to say some forms. And then I'm going to go, some forms are form ID. So select the form ID. So we've got form submission, trigger, variable, some forms, form ID, and then I'm going to do form ID equals. And I have just screwed around to find out what it is, and the ID that you're going to use I already have here, so I'm going to discard this. The one you're going to use, and it'll be in the link in the video, is this. The form ID equals IDX sign up form, no space, with a capital F. I don't know if the capitalization matters, but that's what the form is. So the form ID is going to be that. Once you create that trigger, you're going to save that. I don't mess around with the validation tags or anything, but if you fill out that form now on that page, it's going to cause a trigger. Then you come in and usually what you'll do is you'll say, let's create a tag. Let's assume you already have your Google Analytics code, your Google Ads remarketing code. You would hit hopefully you know how to do conversions for your Google ads. If you don't know how to do that, we'll have more videos about that. But the idea is that's the trigger that you would use. You know, if you were, let's say, doing a Google ad, maybe I'll show you this real quick. Just there's going to be some of you click off if you already know. Well, before we do this, I'll show you how to do that. But real quick, in your IDX broker tool, you have to make sure that you get the header set up properly. Now you can test your site at all times to make sure you go get this Chrome extension. It's the Google Tag Manager Chrome extension. And if you install that and put that on there, and then usually it's disabled, so you'd hit enable, and then you'll refresh this. What you would be able to do is find out if your tags are actually firing, to find out if your analytics, Google Analytics tags are firing. The next thing that you would do is you could come in, and if you know anything about this, you can go into this preview mode, and when you preview mode, it refreshes in Tag Manager, and then you'd come in here, refresh this page again. Maybe I'll get rid of this. Down here, you'd be able to see, okay, the tags fired, the conversion linker, analytics tag, and the remarketing tag. And now what you could do is you could click through and find the place and find out if you've actually made it. So when I fill this out, one of these tags will fire. I know that it works. I've done this before. But what happens though is the way we use these tools, we put widgets, right? So this is a normal page, duplexdoctors.com, and we put this widget code in there. Now, how do you, when you click on this, we're forcing the registration. And when you do that, if you notice up here, we actually went off site. Now we're at the duplexdoctors.idxbroker.com. Okay. What we need to do is come into the IDX tool, go to design, go to website, go to wrappers. Okay. And what you're going to want to do is once you've published and made sure that your Google Tag Manager and code is proper on your normal website, what you'll need to do is create another page in Webflow or on WordPress that all it has is a header, a blank section, and a footer. So in this case, I have the duplexdoctors.com/IDX-header. Now I blocked that from search results, but it just has a header and it has a footer. And then what you do is you come in here and you go to the global wrapper. You put this dynamic URL in there, select dynamic, put the dynamic, and then save. Okay, and what that'll do is it will crawl that page and use that for the header and the footer of your IDX subsite. If for some reason you're updating tags and they're not taking, maybe hit this link over here, clear wrapper cache. Every once in a while you'll get some caching issues. But essentially what that does is make sure that this subsite here has your Google Tag Manager going. So I can see now I'm at the duplexdoctors.idxbroker.com, and down here I can see the tags. Now you would be able to test this. You could fill this out, right? And then hit submit and it goes fast, but there was the G-ads form. So that conversion did fire, it did work, and now we know it. Now what's cool is if you do, now let's jump into what this might look like for Google Ads, right? So ads.google.com, and you can do this for LinkedIn, you can do this for Facebook. What you would do is you'd come in and you would define a trigger and an actual tag here. So in this case, what I've done is I've gone in and I've created the trigger. Now I go to tags and I say new tag, and I'm going to make this like the Google Ads IDX form conversion. What I'd do is I'd come in and I'd say this is a Google Ads conversion tracking. Boom, I'd hit that, and now I'll have to come into Google Ads. I'm going to use a different, I'll use my own here. So I'm just going to get this set up. We don't need you looking at everything, do we? So once I get this in, we'll click into, I have a couple accounts. So the idea is you get into your account, and then there's a tools up here that we're going to go to. And once the tool is ready, let's do this guy. Here's my own. Okay. So real quick, we'll come up in your Google Ads account, we'll hit tools and settings, and then we're going to go to conversions right here. So we have conversion ready to go and ready to put the information here, but we have to create the version or the conversion. So I'd hit this plus button, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is a website lead. You can select the category. I would do that this is a submit lead form. So IDX, name it, IDX form lead. You could put a conversion value to it. That might be the case. Do you want it to happen every time they register or just once? In this case, I'm going to do just once. And then 30 days, 1 day, last click attribution is fine with me. And then, so now you get to this point, how do you want to just deploy the tag? So over here, we got the tag waiting for some information. Over here, we're going to say Google Tag Manager, and this gives you the ID and the label. You take that ID and the label, and you put it in the conversion ID and conversion label. So you'd hit that, you'd hit save, and now what you would do is you'd come to trigger, and you would select that trigger, the IDX form trigger. That's how you would get that set up. Now let's dive into what it might look like for LinkedIn. All right, so what we've done here is we've come to LinkedIn, and we've gone to advertise. When you open up the advertise, you have to create an account. Once you get the account open for your actual customer, what we'll do is we'll dive in and we will say, let's install the insight tag. So that's the first step. We're going to hit install my insight tag. I will do it I will use tag manager, right? And there's this partner ID number. Then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here. Let's exit this out. So first put the new tag, and this is going to be the LinkedIn tag, and we search LinkedIn Insight tag. Pretty easy. We're going to set that there, triggering all pages. We're going to hit save. We're going to hit submit because I know that's fine. So LinkedIn, we'll hit publish. And now that should be saying I'm done. Might take a second to actually get some traffic. So maybe what I'll do is I'll open the new incognito window. Let's go to the duplexdoctors.com. And maybe if we refresh it a couple times, we should see something pop up. But maybe not. Sometimes it just takes a while to get actual traffic, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to conversions, account, conversions, create a conversion. So we'll say IDX form fill out, and we're going to say this is a lead. You can put dollars to it. Again, if you want to, the clicks 30 days, views 7 days, that's fine. And then select campaigns to track conversions. We'll just leave this alone, but maybe type IDX. And use an event-specific pixel to track. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that. We're going to come over here, and now we're going to deploy this conversion tag. So in tags, we're going to go new, and we're going to do LinkedIn conversion, IDX conversion. Okay, and the idea is when the trigger occurs, this IDX form comes, what we're going to do is select the tag configuration, just go down to custom HTML, and you're going to put the, wait, no, not custom HTML, custom images. Custom image, and then I believe, sorry, yeah, what you're going to do is you're going to go custom image down here, custom image, and you'll see that there's this image URL, and essentially what you do is you come in, you copy here, and inside of this image is, there's this URL. So we're going to grab this HTTPS, we're going to grab all the way down to the equals GIF, and we're going to take that sucker, and we are going to paste that in here, and boom, now we're going to hit save, and what you will see is something's not working. Hold on. All right, I got a little turnaround there. So here's what you do. It was for some reason not working, but basically, again, so you're gonna, what I'll do here is you'll hit new, and then you're gonna hit what type. You come down to custom image, right? And then what you're gonna do is in here, you're gonna go back into your LinkedIn. You're gonna paste this, and then put it into a text editor. Copy and paste it, and then all you want to do is grab the HTTPS. And then copy that all the way to the end where it's the equals GIF. Grab that URL, pull that URL in, and then you're going to paste that here. And then what you have to do is you have to disable this enable cache busting. It was under the advanced. So once you do that, you're going to come down and choose your trigger, name this. So LinkedIn IDX form conversion. Hit save, and it will save it. And once it's gone, you'll hit publish, submit. So now I've done LinkedIn IDX. So you just keep naming it. You could add more notes in there, but basically once you've done that, then you hit create, and you will see that conversion is created for your LinkedIn campaign. So you do that with Google Ads, you do that with LinkedIn, you can do it with Facebook as well, but by doing it for conversions, that's going to help. So that's how you use IDX Broker. God bless, good luck. If you need help with any of this, give us a shout. We'll be making more Webflow, IDX Broker, and IDX Broker content. So take care.